Hello my dear students, I welcomes all of you to this next lecture. So in last lecture, what we have taken, we have started unit number 2, that is modeling and representation of a control system. Let us revise the points that we have covered in a last lecture. So in last lecture we have started with meaning of a modeling. Okay, so in this modeling we have seen what do you mean by physical modeling. Means making a physical model of a system is nothing but a physical modeling. Okay, the interconnection of that components in designed manner, that is physical modeling. And from that physical modeling we are deriving equations, and these equations are called as, or that final equation is called as a mathematical model of that system. So mathematical model is nothing but a representation of a system's behavior in mathematical way or in equations way. So that we have seen. After that we have seen types of a modeling. So under that we have seen what do you mean by differential equation model, and after that we have started a transfer function model. Okay, so differential equation model, we have seen differential equation model. We have taken one simple RLC example and we have written differential equation for this circuit diagram, and that is given by this second order equation that we have covered. After that we have started the most important part in this chapter, that is transfer function. So we have seen that the ratio of a Laplace transform of output to the Laplace transform of the input is nothing but transfer function. So we have seen the transfer function of an open loop control system. Then we have derived the equation for transfer function of a closed loop system, that is TF is equal to, or transfer function is equal to CS by RS, which is equal to GS divided by 1 plus GS into HS. So in last lecture I have given one homework to you, that if you replace this negative sign at summing point to positive 1, what will be the equation? Okay, so that we have that I have also given you. I think you may have solved this. So we are going to discuss that point in next part. So this we have covered. So after that we have seen the Laplace transform of passive elements like a resistor, inductor and capacitor. I think you may know what do you mean by passive element. Okay, so Laplace transform of a resistor is RS, Laplace transform of a capacitor is 1 upon SC, then Laplace transform of inductor is SL, that we have seen. So after that we have seen the transfer function of a RC and RLC circuit. We have derived this one. Okay, so I think we have covered up to this one. Okay, and I think you may have practiced this. This is very simple. So let us start with a new concept, that is order of the system. So here we have to find the order of a system. So what do you mean by order of the system, that we have to first study? The order of a control system is defined as the highest power of a S present in denominator of a closed loop transfer function GS of a unity feedback system. जो भी यूनिटी फीडबैक सिस्टम होती है उसमें से जो भी उसका जो ट्रांसफ़र फंक्शन होता है उसके डिनोमिनेटर में जो s होगा उसका जो पावर होगा, दैट इज़ नथिंग बट योर ऑर्डर ऑफ अ सिस्टम. पहले तो ये देखते हैं कि ये यूनिटी फीडबैक सिस्टम क्या होती है. ओके, सो इफ़ यू सी दिस इज़ सिंपल यूनिटी फीडबैक सिस्टम. इफ़ यू सी देयर इज़ नो एनी फीडबैक एलिमेंट लाइक HS here. Means what? The output is taken directly and it is given to the summing point like this. So this is your summing point. So it is given like this. So this is called as unity feedback. Okay, though there is no any feedback element inside in between this output and this summing point, or output in between output and input. Okay, so this is called a unity feedback system. So what do you mean by order again? The order of a control system is defined as the power of a S present in a denominator of a closed loop transfer function GS of a unity feedback system, or a feedback system like this. So let us see the equation, and from this equation we can determine the order of a given system. Okay, So this is a transfer function of one system, that is Tf is equal to Gs is equal to s in bracket s plus 2 divided by s raised to 4 plus 7 into s raised to 3 plus 10s square plus 5s plus 5. Okay. So if you see this equation, this is a transfer function of a one system, and if you see this is a numerator and this is a denominator. Okay. So in denominator, if you see the highest power of s, that is what, 4. So what will be the order of this system? Yes, the order of system will be 4. Okay. So the highest power of the equation in a denominator of a given function is 4, that we have discussed earlier. So the order of a given system is, this is the fourth order system. Okay, our order is 4, we can say. Next, second order and proper system. Okay, sorry, system order and a proper system. So highest power of s present in denominator of a closed loop transfer function is called as a order of the system. Okay, that we have seen. But what do you mean by proper system? The proper system is a system where the degree of a denominator is larger than or equal to the degree of a numerator polynomial. Okay, so यह हमको समझना चाहिए कि प्रॉपर सिस्टम क्या होती है. जो भी ट्रांसफर फंक्शन होगा सिस्टम का, गिवन सिस्टम का, उसमें से जो न्यूमरेटर और डिनोमिनेटर के s का जो पावर होगा, तो डिनोमिनेटर का पावर न्यूमरेटर के पावर से ज़्यादा होना चाहिए या इक्वल होना चाहिए, तभी हम कह सकते हैं कि वो सिस्टम क्या है, प्रॉपर सिस्टम है. ओके, सो लेट अस सी द एग्जांपल ऑफ सिस्टम. So determine order of a given system. Here we have to determine order. So first of all we have to simplify this equation. Let us simplify. So if you take denominator polynomial, that is s, the first bracket is s plus 3 and second bracket is s plus 4, and generally if you equal this equation to 0, this is called as a characteristics equation. So we have to use this term characteristics equation in upcoming chapters. Just when we just keep in mind that when we equal the denominator of a given system to the 0, then that becomes a characteristics equation. So this is the characteristics equation. So let us solve this. If you multiply this bracket to this bracket, that is s into s, that is s square, then s into 4, that is 4s, then 3 into s, that is 3s. So 4s and 3s becomes 7s, and 3 into 4 is 12. Okay. So again if you multiply this inside, that is s into s square, that is s cube, plus 7s square and plus 12 is equal to 0. Okay. Now this is the final equation. Now here we have to observe the highest power of s. So if you see the highest power of s is 3, so that's why this system is called as a third order system. Okay. And let's check the system is proper or not. That by definition the power of this denominator of s must be greater than the power of a numerator of s. Okay. So again if you simplify this, maximum it can come as a s square. Okay. So it will not become s cube or s raised to 4. So here the power becomes s square, and here as we solved the power becomes s raised to 3. So the power of a denominator is greater than power of a numerator of s. So that's why the system is proper system. So the degree of a denominator is larger than the numerator, hence the system is proper. So this is third order system, and this system is a proper system. Okay. So this is very simple concept. Let us see third example. Again we have to simplify this. So you can just pause the video and you can simplify, no problem. And let's check that the system is proper or not. Okay. So if you solve this to obtain the highest power of a denominator, simplify the denominator polynomial. So after simplification, if you multiply these terms s cube inside, s cube into 7s square, that is 7s raised to 5, plus s cube into 12s, that is 12s raised to 4, plus s3 into 5, that is 5s cube is equal to 0. Okay. So what is the highest power of s in a denominator? And that is 5. Okay. So this is called as a fifth order system. Okay. And here there is no problem any, because if you see, if you multiply this ks plus 5k we can say, or sk plus 5k, and the highest order of this numerator is 1, we can say that is 1. So that's why we can say the degree of a denominator is larger than the degree of a numerator, hence the system is a proper system. Okay, so I think now you all have got this concept. This is very simple. Okay, so now the types of systems based upon highest power of denominator, that is 0 order system, first order system and second order system. So we have to solve different example related to this first order system, second order systems. So that's why this is very important concept, because the basics are again important if you take any subject. So what is a 0 order system? Let us see what is a 0 order system. So if the highest power of a complex variable s present in a characteristics equation is a 0, or we can say denominator is a 0, then that is called as a 0th order system. Okay, so if you say this is unity feedback system and the transfer function is 1 upon 1 plus t. So the transfer function of a gs of this unity feedback system is given by 1 divided by 1 plus t, but there is no s. So what is the solution? So solution is that we can write this in terms of a 1 plus s raised to 0 into t is equal to 0. Okay, so this is generally characteristics equation. Okay, and here s raised to 0 means what? Anything raised to 0 is 1. So that's why s raised to 0 can be replaced by 1. So there will not be any meaning to this s raised to 0, but I can say that the highest power of s in a denominator is equal to 0, and that is indicating that the system is 0 order system. Okay, so this is very simple. So the practical example is amplifier type control system. Okay, so let us take next, that is first order system. If the highest power of the complex variable s present in a characteristics equation is 1, then system is called as a first order system. So again, if you see the equation is this is unity feedback system, and the equation or transfer function is Tf is equal to Gs is equal to what? 1 upon 1 plus SCR. So the characteristics equation becomes this one, that is 1 plus SCR is equal to 0. So hence the power of S present at a denominator is equal to 1. So this is a first order system, and practical examples are RC circuits, thermal type systems. Okay, don't worry, we have to study the response of a first order system. Then you will understand how actually the first order system will be there, and how to analyze the stability of the system. Just for the sake of understanding, just keep in mind that RC circuit and thermal type systems, different thermal type systems are the example of a first order system. Okay, so if you see the second order system, again, if the power of a complex variable as present in a characteristics equation is 2, then it is called as a second order system. See, these are the concepts that we have seen earlier in this lecture only. Just see the how to represent it is asked in question, that is just draw the block diagram of a second order system and just show that the system is a second order. Okay, so if you see this is again unity feedback system, and the equation here becomes Gs is equal to 1 upon S square Lc plus SCR plus 1. So hence characteristics equation becomes S square Lc plus SCR plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so again I am repeating that if you equal the denominator equation of any control system to 0, that equation is called as a characteristics equation. So what is the use of this characteristics equation? That we have to see in next chapters. Okay, just see, this is a keep in mind that this is a characteristics equation. So S square Lc plus SCR plus 1 is equal to 0. This is the characteristics equation of this second order system. So power of S is 2. So this is a second order system, and the practical examples are RLC circuit, robotic control system. Okay, so these are the practical examples of a second order system. So now we have to see block diagram algebra. What do you mean by block diagram algebra? So here we have to reduce different types of block diagrams of a control system to a single block, and for that we need to understand different types of rules that we have to use for reduction of this block diagram, and that is collectively called as a block diagram algebra. But why this block diagram is required, or block diagram algebra is required, that we have to see. If the system is a simple and has a limited parameters, then it is easy to analyze such a system using the method discussed earlier, that is a transfer function. But suppose the system is complicated, suppose there are n number of parameters or blocks are present, then there is need to reduce that whole diagram into a simple diagram. Okay, so for that purpose we have to use this is important algebra, that is block diagram algebra. But before studying the block diagram, before solving this block diagram reduction examples, first of all we have to see different types of rules or different rules that we have to understand, that we have to use while solving the block diagram equations. Okay, so let us see the rules, but before that let us complete again this block diagram algebra. That is, to overcome this problem, block diagram representation method is used, that we have discussed earlier, and it is a simple way to represent any practically complicated system, and in this each component of the system is presented by separate block diagram known as a functional block, and these blocks are interconnected in a proper sequence. Okay, so this is the simple way to represent any complex system that we have discussed earlier. Okay, and these blocks are interconnected in a proper sequence, that also we have to see. So what do I mean by block diagram, that you know, but see, it is a shorthand pictorial representation of the cause and effect relationship between input and output of a physical system. जो भी physical system होगा उसमें एक physical component of interconnection model होगा, उसमें input होगा और उसके वजह से हमें क्या मिलेगा, output मिलेगा. So that system is generally represented with the help of simple block diagram. So this is a pictorial view of that simple block diagram, that is, this is the input, this is a block, and this is the output. Okay, so again, suppose practically we have applied x's as the input, and the 3's is the transfer function of this input, and ys is the output. So generally ys is given by this input into this system function or a transfer function. Okay, so ys is equal to what, 3s into xs. So output is nothing but the value of the input is multiplied to the value of a block gain to get the desired output. Okay, so that we have studied already. So in short, ys is equal to what, 3s into xs. So again we have to see different fundamentals like a summing point that we have discussed earlier. While studying a basic block diagram, at that point I have told you that we will see what do we mean by this block. So now let's understand the importance of this block. So what is the use of this block? This is a summing point or summing part, we can say, and two or more signals can be added or subtracted at a summing point. Okay, so even though it is adding and subtracting the signals, it is collectively called as a summing point. Okay, so if you see, these are the inputs of this summing point, and this is the output of this summing point. Okay, in short we can say these are the inputs to this block, and this is the output from this block. So if you see, this is a plus sign, this is plus sign, so that's why the x and y signal are the positive signals, we can say, or added signal, we can say, and from that this is a minus, this z is minus, so this signal is subtracted from this one. So collectively we can say the output is equal to x plus y minus z. Okay, so जो भी इधर इनपुट को साइन होगा वो साइन आपको सिंपली उस सिग्नल को देना है. ओके, इधर प्लस है, वी कैन से इट इज़ प्लस एक्स, और x ओनली वी कैन से, इधर प्लस है तो ये प्लस से y होगा, सो इधर माइनस है तो ये क्या होगा, माइनस z होगा. जो भी इधर इनपुट को साइन जाएगा वही साइन आपको उठा के इसके इनपुट को लगाना है. दैट इज़ अ सिंपल algebra, we can say. So output is equal to what, x plus y minus z. So this is simple. So what do you mean by forward path? So I think we have seen this earlier. The direction of a flow of a signal is from input to output. So in forward path, the direction will be from this side to this side, or from input to output. So this is called as forward path. And what will be the reverse path or feedback path? that is nothing but direction of a flow of a signal from output to towards input, or from CS towards the RS or towards this input summing point. Okay. So, this is the basics of forward path and feedback path. Now, the most important part in the block diagram algebra is their rules. Okay. So, let us start with rule number 1. Now, the most important part in the block diagram algebra is its rules. Okay. So, let us start with rule number 1 for blocks in a cascade, or we can say for blocks in a series. So, this rule should be used for the blocks in a series. Okay. So, gain of blocks connected in a cascade or in series gets multiplied with each other. Okay. So, now if you see, this is block number 1 and the gain is G1, and this is the block number 2 and the gain is a G2. Okay. If you see, the output of this first block is given as an input to the second block. Okay. So, this is input RS of a first block, this is the gain of a first block, R1S is the output of a first block, and it is also acting as an input to the block of a second block, that is G2, and the output of this block is a CS. Okay. So, let us calculate R1S. So, R1S is equal to, R1S is nothing but RS into G1. So, this we have seen already here, that is YS is always gain into the input. So, YS is equal to 3S into XS. So, that is why by this formula or by this rule we can say that this R1S or output of this first block is a multiplication of input and this gain, that is G1 into what? RS. Okay. Now, calculate the CS. CS will be what? Input to this block into gain of this block. So, what is the input of this block? That is R1S, and the gain is G2. Okay. So, CS will be G2 into R1S, but R1S is equal to what? That is G1 RS. So, that is why CS will be what? G1 G2 into RS. So, this you have to keep in mind. Okay. That is G1 G2 into RS. But this rules states that the gain of blocks connected in cascade gets multiplied with each other. Okay. तो हमें सिंपली क्या करना है, इतना सब नहीं करना है, just multiply this G1 and G2 and we get this block. So, here the input is RS, gain is multiplied here. So, that is why it gain will become G1 into G2 and CS. So, CS is equal to what? G1 into G2 into RS. So, from this equation we have written this, or we have drawn this block. Okay. So, in short, the blocks in cascade or series जब भी होते हैं तो उस केस में जो भी गेन होता है वो क्या होता है? मल्टीप्लाई होता है. ओके. नाउ if you see these blocks, three blocks are connected in a series or cascaded manner. So, again this formula or this law can be used here, that is this G1 G2 G3 will be replaced by G1 into G2 into G3. The input and output will be like this, that is input is RS and output is CS. Okay. But while using this rule, you have to keep one important thing is that suppose there is takeoff point in between any two blocks, then this rule should not be used directly. Okay. So, here if you see, this is G1 block and this is a G2 block, but in between these two blocks there is no any summing point or any takeoff point. Okay. So, that is why we can say that this gain can be multiplied directly, but you cannot multiply this G1 G2 to G3 because in between this G2 and G3 there is one takeoff point. Okay. So, how to overcome this problem, that we will see in next rules. Just see here, we can do G1 into G2 like this, but we can't do G1 into G2 into G3 because there is one takeoff point in between these two blocks. तो यही आपको ध्यान में रखना है कि जब भी एक कोई टेक ऑफ पॉइंट किसी भी ब्लॉक के बीच में होता है तो डायरेक्टली मल्टीप्लाई ना करें. ओके. सो द इक्वेशन और द ब्लॉक बिकम्स RS is equal to G1 into G2. Okay. And here this is connected to block G3, but in between these two blocks there is one takeoff point, that is R1S, and the output is CS. Okay. Don't do this one, this is wrong. Okay, so this is one is correct. The second rule is for blocks in a parallel. Okay, so gain of blocks connected in a parallel gets added algebraically. Okay, so if you see this diagram, left side diagram, this is your G1, this is your G2, and this is a G3. So these are the gains of these particular blocks, and these blocks are connected parallelly. Means what? The signal R1s is given here, and here we can say that is what? Take-up point. From this take-up point, that signal is given to here. At the same time, the signal is given to this G1 block, and it is also given to the G3 block. So this point we can call as the take-off point. This is the RES, and the RES is applied to here, here, and here. The input is same. Okay, the input to this all blocks are same. So we can say that these blocks are in parallelly manner. Okay, these blocks are connected in parallel manner. Okay, so that's why I have written here the output of this first block is nothing but the input into gain of this one. Okay, but I have given the simple different name to the output, that is R1s for the simplification. So the output of this G1 is R1s, output of G2 is R2s, output of G3 is R3s. Okay, and now they have connected to this summing point. Okay, so here this minus should be applied to here directly, as we have discussed. जो भी साइन होता है वो डायरेक्टली उसी इनपुट को देना चाहिए, ऐसे हमने डिस्कस किया था पिछले पार्ट में. तो ये प्लस इधर जाएगा, ये प्लस इधर जाएगा, और ये माइनस इसके आगे में जाएगा. ओके, तो सी एस विल बी वॉट? दिस इज समिंग पॉइंट. सो सी एस विल बी वॉट? R1s because it is positive, then minus R2s because it is given to the negative part of a summing point, and again R3 is positive because it is given to the positive part of the summing point. So CS is equal to R1s minus R2s plus R3s, and as we have discussed earlier, this R1s is nothing but the input into gain, that is RES into G1. So this is G1 into RS written here. So similarly R2s will be what? G2 into RS, that is gain into input. Similarly this R3 will be G3 into RS, but there will be minus sign in between this, and there will be plus sign in between this one. So finally it will become, if you take RS common, it will become RS into in bracket G1 minus G2 plus G3. Okay, so from this equation I can represent this whole block into the block like this one. Okay, because again what is the CS? CS is into gain, CS equal to gain into input. So I can say that this is the input, so this is my gain, and this is my output. So simple. Okay, so from these two diagrams I can conclude that if the gain gain blocks are in parallel manner connected to each other, then we can say that the gain is what? Algebraically added. Okay, algebraically added means what? जो भी नेगेटिव साइन होगा तो नेगेटिव लिया जाएगा, जो भी पॉजिटिव होगा वो पॉजिटिव हो जाएगा. सो हियर अगेन सी एस इज इक्वल टू व्हाट? G1 minus G2 plus G3 bracket completes into what? RES. So this is all about the blocks in a parallel. Let us see third part, that is eliminate feedback loop. Okay, we have seen this while studying the transfer function of a closed loop system, how to eliminate the feedback loop and to get a one equation. Okay, so if you see this again, we are revising this, that is this is RES, then this is ES. Okay, this is your summing point, error is there. Okay, so how this error is taken? For this error, one input is RS, another input is output taken from feedback loop, or this from this loop, that is this loop, that is BS, that is given here. ES is given to this block, and the output is taken from this block like this one. Okay, so if you see this is a positive and negative sign, means what? You can use positive feedback if you want, and if you want negative feedback you can use. So that's why I have mentioned here two signs, but as per the sign mentioned here, means what? As per the positive feedback or a negative feedback, this equation will change. Okay, so generally we can say that for this system the transfer function will be like this: g divided by 1 plus or minus gh is equal to what, इसके आउटपुट में क्या होगा, cs होगा. Okay. So if you see this block can be represented into this one. The transfer function इस block का क्या होगा, g divided by 1 plus or minus gh. Okay, so this is the gain or a transfer function, this is the input and this is the output. Okay, so in general I can write this equation in these terms, but we need to understand when there will be positive sign and when there will be a negative sign. Okay, so this you have to solve at home. This is your homework. When the feedback is negative, I get the equation like this one, that is g divided by 1 plus gh. This part you have to solve. Okay, this is your homework. So when we are giving the feedback signal to the negative part or negative point of a summing point, that feedback is called as a negative feedback. And for this negative feedback, the cs divided by rs or a transfer function is given by g divided by 1 plus gh. Okay, यही ध्यान में आपको रखना है कि अगर इधर नेगेटिव होगा साइन तो इधर क्या होगा, पॉजिटिव, एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट. ओके, so similarly if I take a positive feedback, means if I take this feedback and if I apply this bs to the plus part or plus point of the summing point, then I will get the equation like this one, that is a g divided by 1 minus gh. Okay, so for negative feedback you are getting this equation or a transfer function, and for positive feedback you are getting this equation. Okay, so this shortcut we have to use while solving the equations, so that's why you have to keep this in your mind. Okay, so we have seen 3 rules, that is for blocks in a series the gain is multiplied. Then secondly we have seen blocks in parallel, the gain is algebraically added, and the third is elimination of a feedback loop. Okay, so just we have to check the feedback, it is positive or negative, and based upon that we have to change the sign at a transfer function, that we have to see, that we have seen. In next lecture we will see associative law for a summing points. So how the summing points are replaced, what is the rule for that, that we have to see. And in next lecture we will complete these rules, and after that we will start with solving the examples related to the transfer function. So this is very simple and interesting. It is mostly this part is asked in GATE exams or different competitive exams. So prepare very well these rules and the basics of control system. In next lecture we will start with the examples. Okay, thank you very much. Take care of yourself and your family members. Just stay home. Okay, so take care of yourself and your family members. Stay home, stay safe. Thank you very much. So today we have to stop here.